Dennis, you were at SEC Media Days when all of this started to drop. I mean, it was just a proverbial bomb dropped in the middle of SEC Days. And as soon as everybody heard it, they were like, well, that's it. There's no more Big 12 after this. Now that you've had about 8 days to breathe, to see how this situation unfolds, what's the vibe you're getting in regards to what now happens to the Big 12?
That's my biggest question right now, Amanda. Who has the leverage here? Does the Big 12 with its 8 remaining members, or does the American? Or does the Pac-12 going and get some number of those Big 12 teams? You saw a report this week where Bob Bowlesby accused ESPN actually of conspiring with the American to take all 8 teams in. I don't know if the American has that juice, because right now still the Big 12 has that $37 million payday with those 8 existing teams that will exist for the next 5 seasons until that contract runs out. Is that enough for them to pull in some American teams and go to 12 or something like that and create more inventory than they had before? Or is there security in the American for the Big 12 teams? But for that to happen, for the Big 12 even to exist going forward, all 8 teams have to do this together. If even one leaves, I think it's the doomsday scenario that a lot of people around the Big 12 dread, that you could just see the conference scatter to the 4 winds. If somebody goes to the Mountain West, some goes to the American, Big 10, Pac-12 is in play. That's the problem. And they are meeting, I should mention, as we speak. The Big 12 ADs are meeting to discuss next steps right now.
So that's the Big 12 and the SEC, and we now know Oklahoma, Texas, they are headed to the SEC at some point in the next couple of years. In regards to the rest of the conferences, what is their next move that we should expect?
Well, I think there's 2 questions to be asked. Next up is, what is the ACC going to do? They are locked in to what most industry insiders say is a bad contract. They signed it long-term, below value at about $35 million per school. Sounds like a lot, isn't, but soon the ACC will be last among the Power 5 in revenue. There's nothing they can do to get out of that short of Notre Dame joining the conference. We already know that's not going to happen. At least it's not going to happen now. So does the ACC do some kind of partnership with the Big 10? Did they go crazy and go bi-coastal with the Pac-12? There have been no indications of that yet. Or do they just ride it out? The reason Oklahoma and Texas left, as stated by Oklahoma President Joseph Harris just now, is that the Big 12 is in last place not in terms of money, but in terms of renewing their contract. They have to wait 4 more years now to renew that contract. The Big 10 has to wait till 2022 or 23, so they're right in line. The Pac-12 is up in 2024, so that was one of the reasons. They didn't want to wait to have to renegotiate. The ACC has to do something dramatic.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.